Another show of Destination Folk here, going out live from Newry. It's broadcast throughout the world on the worldwide internet, and we're joined here today with a man from South Armagh, local talent by the name of Joe Kenny, all the way from Drummondhee. So you're very welcome, Joe, to be here on this show with us. You're going to be singing a few songs or whatever.
Oh, thanks very much, Damien.
Just to let people know, Joe plays the guitar. He's out doing the local music scene, and Joe was born with an eye disorder, and he lost his eyesight at the age of 5. But it didn't stop him or hinder him in any way at all, because he's out doing the music scene, and he's kept busy enough at the local music. So,
or maybe not busy enough.
Well, maybe not busy enough. Depends on what it is. But once again, you're very welcome, Joe. Anyway, and
thanks very much.
You're into the music business, and I was just admiring the guitar you had there, Martin guitar.
So, it's love of my life.
A lot of people are well into the name of the Martins, you know. So just tell us a bit about yourself and how you get into the music, Joe.
Well, I suppose I first got into it maybe when I was about 12 or 14 in school. You know, you have bands, and I was blessed with a very, very good music teacher. He was from Newcastle, and it was him that got us all interested in, do you want to learn a guitar or drums or a whistle or whatever it was.
Right.
So I took a shine to the guitar, and I picked it up because he bought a few. He'd obviously got guitars in the classroom or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I got into it that way, really. But I never read music or anything. I never learned how to read music. I just picked it up by ear.
Right. Well, I suppose that's the best way to learn music. You know what I mean? Because if you're sitting there, I know from my own personal music scene, any instrument I learned was through listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're playing music that it's not read off a sheet, it seems more vibrant, more lively.
I think so, because you're learning not just the notes and the chords. I think you're learning how to express yourself and how to put them lyrics in a way people actually like.
And you're learning that you get a good rhythm and whatever, you know. And do you play any other instrument only apart from the guitar?
Oh, sure, I play, but I started. Funny enough, I did start out in drums. I love playing the drums, but I kind of don't have much time for that anymore.
And here, living out in South Armagh, you didn't have many neighbours to maybe a few fields away.
In Drummondhee, it was. I think my neighbours knew me anyway.
Oh well. Well, sure. We'll get a wee song out of you, Joe. First.
No bother.
What are you going to give us?
Well, a tune I always play when I'm gigging is a tune Christy Moore sings it. Black is the Colour.
Oh, I think it was Hema Shimlock or somebody from Scotland. A wee Scottish love song.
I'll do a bit of a rockier version of it, but we'll see how it goes anyway. Black is the colour of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest smile and the gentlest hands, and I love the ground whereon she stands. I love my love, and this she knows. I love the ground whereon she goes, and I wish the day it would come when my love and I will be as one. 'Cause black is the colour of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest smile and the gentlest hands, and I love the ground whereon she stands. I walk the Clyde for to mourn and weep, for satisfied I can't sleep. I'm gonna write her a letter, just a few short lines, and suffer death 10,000 times. 'Cause black is the color of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest smile and the gentlest hands, and I love the ground whereon she stands, and I love the ground whereon she stands.
Oh, brilliant, Joe. Absolutely fantastic.
Thanks very much.
I know you this few years, you know, and I've never heard you sing before, play the guitar before, but that was awesome. And I never seen anybody playing the guitar that style before, with the hand coming over the top.
I was wondering when you mentioned that.
Never seen that in my life, and I'm just sitting here amazed and just in total awe.
To tell you the truth is, that was never intentional. I only ever learnt that way because when I picked the guitar up first, obviously I couldn't see.
Right.
And I didn't realise that was the wrong way to actually hold it. And it only
brilliant.
It took about 2 years for somebody to point out to me that you do know that you're holding that the wrong way, don't you?
Holy mother of God, I never seen that in my life. That was just totally, you know, when, like, because I'm playing the music scene, you're playing the music scene, whenever we get to see each other, I know you've seen, or you've came to hear one of my gigs, you got back early.
I know, one here and there, yeah.
But I remember the late Danny O'Rourke from Drummondtee had said to me, "Did you ever hear Joe singing? Did you ever see him?" And I says, "No," because we always cross paths.
Yeah.
And Danny was always on about, "Oh, you want to hear this boy, you want to hear this boy." But after watching that was just brilliant. You know, and even the vocals, I didn't know what to expect from the vocals, and such a trad voice for that song. It's absolutely a credit to you, you know what I mean? But Danny O'Rourke, getting back to Danny was saying to me, this man goes to the gigs and he's able to set up his whole PA system, even though that he can't see.
That'd be Danny, all
Rub
right.
the leads in and tune the guitar and does the whole lot and not a bother. You know
right.
what I mean? So obviously it's great being able to do that, and obviously, what do you get a lift to your gigs, do you, or whatever?
Well,
does it work?
I've been gigging now for many years, but I suppose it's a combination of taxis and favours from friends and family.
Right. Aye.
I mean, I do have to thank my family for a lot of support over the years with all that kind of run me here, run me there. I need this, I need that for. I have to run out to get a part for the PA system, whatever it might be.
Aye. Yeah. And when you're going to pick PA systems, no matter just do you know brands to go for? Or do you just have a wee listen first?
You see, I used to have a recording studio when I lived in Leeds in England, and you know, I'm an absolute tech head too. Like I love you know, all the speakers and amps and you know microphones.
Yeah.
So I just learned all that. I just you know as I went.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the same with myself. You know, you're always looking out for different brands of speakers. You know, was any new out? You know what I mean? You know, and what's on the go. But we're going to get Damien here to play a wee song here, just to give us a wee breather. Another wee folk. What's on the list here? Fabulous Barleycorn with My Last Farewell, a classic of a song that was sung by Brian McCormack, who used to be the original singer of the Barleycorn, and then Derek McCormack took over. That was the late great Derek McCormack from Drogheda who sang that song. So once again, you're listening to Destination Folk here, and we're joined by Joe Kenny from South Armagh, Drummondtee, Joe.
That's right.
How's Drummondee going at the football at the minute?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. The miners are doing very well, I believe.
Right, fair play then. But Joe, you sang a brilliant song there, Black as the Colour of My True Love's Hair. When you were growing up and learning the music business, who was your influences in the music scene?
Well, you see, it's funny, it's a mad old journey. I started out loving rock and heavy metal and all, and I went through all that phase and grew the hair.
Oh, God.
And so that's where the drums sort of came in, and electric guitars, and turn up as loud as you possibly can, and all that. But now I'm more a folk. I'm much more just acoustic guitar all the way.
Right.
I'd say a big influence on me were people like I just love Eric Clapton and like there's a guy called John Martin. I don't know if any of your viewers will know him. He's dead now, but he's a great folk
Right.
musician.
Where was he from?
He's originally from Scotland, but
Right.
he lived most of his, well, especially the latter part of his life in Kilkenny.
Right.
And I suppose I'm liking a lot of things now at the moment. Like, I mean, I'm big into like pop music too. I love my Snow Patrols and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Dubliners, of course,
Yeah.
Christie. You can never pass Christie.
Right. He always comes up. The name
He
comes
does
up
indeed.
everywhere.
And Damien Dempsey, of course.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Checking all the same boxes himself there.
Yeah.
Joe. You know, I have seen Damien Dempsey and Christy Moore. I'm sure you've seen him at
yeah.
concerts yourself.
I have.
You know, but and Damien Dempsey himself, like he struggled for years to get on the scene.
He did.
And he was out busking and the whole lot, you know. But he's hit it big now, and once you hit it big like that, that's it. There's no turning back.
He's some voice on him.
Oh, brilliant! I mean, and again, a real passionate gig. Any of the viewers out there, if you ever go to see a Damien Dempsey gig, you'll see the passion coming out, even in the veins of his neck and the eyes closed, and him giving her loads. But that's what makes a great artist, Joe, isn't it?
It really is, because that's it. You get caught up. You really do get caught up in his gigs.
Yeah.
Because he puts that much into it.
Funny enough, I was driving home last night from Dungiven. I'd done a gig up in South Derry in Dungiven last night, and I got leaving the gig probably about, what time is it, about 1 o'clock. And that's who I put on the way home last night.
Good driving music.
I hadn't heard him for a while, so I says, right, I'll put a bit of Dempsey on.
Yeah.
And it really keeps you awake anyway, you know what I mean? When you're driving home
Absolutely.
late at night, you know, you're a bit tired, but fabulous gig. So we'll get another song, Joe, from you. What are you going to try this time?
Well, I suppose the obvious choice would be I'll do a John Martin tune.
Right,
Just 'cause
where
we
was
mentioned him.
John Martin from Scotland, was he?
He was big. He was in his day. He was known for using his like pedals and delay pedals and so on.
Right.
But I mean, he's just a great songwriter. There's a song of his that people might know called "May You Never."
Right.
May you never lay your head down without a hand to hold. May you never make your bed out in the cold. May you never lay your head down without a hand to hold. May you never make your bed out in the cold. And just like I'm meeting a brother of mine, you know that I love you true. You're never talking dirty behind my back, and I know that there's those that do. Please, won't you bear in mind, love is a lesson we learn in our time. Please, won't you bear it in mind for me. May you never lay your head down without a hand to hold. May you never make your bed out in the cold. May you never lay your head down without a hand to hold. May you never make your bed out in the cold. And just like I'm meeting my sister, you know that I love you true. You hold no knife to stab me in my back, like I know that there's those that will. Please, won't you bear in mind, love is a lesson we learn in our time. Please, won't you bear it in mind for me. May you never lay your head down without a hand to hold. May you never make your bed out in the cold. May you never lose your temper when you get in a barroom fight. May you never lose your lover overnight. May you never lay your head down without a hand to hold. May you never make your bed out in the cold.
handle that all right too.
Something like that.
I'm still fascinated by that style of guitar playing. I'm going to be talking about it for a while.
Oh,
I mean, absolutely, brilliant.
I've been trying to work out, is there disadvantages or advantages to playing like that? And I still haven't made my mind up.
That's top notch. I never, you know what I mean? And how did you learn or know where to put the fingers for the chords doing it that style?
You know, so I think it was when I was very small. I had to go and do piano lessons. Now I didn't like it,
Right.
but the point was it showed you, you know, it's like tones and semitones, and you know what note comes next, like C, D, E,
Right.
F, G. And so once you had that in your head, you realize each fret was a certain note, and then you just put the chords together like that. I just sort of made them up as I went along.
So you made the chords up, you know what I mean? So, but absolutely, it's fantastic, brilliant. You know, I'm amazed, but you know, that song there was by that guy. It was John Martin. No,
John Martin, yeah.
John Martin. I'm thinking if I live John Martin Gardens.
Ah,
that's
that's right here in Uri,
you
yes.
know,
is
so I must listen out for some of his work. But that song was fabulous. I never heard of that guy before, so I'm sure there's a lot on YouTube or whatever. Is there?
Oh yes, there's a load of it,
You
yeah.
know, you were saying from Scotland. I've seen. I'm listening to a lot of Dick Gahan
Yeah.
from Scotland. He's over doing a few gigs at the minute.
Oh, yes.
So
I
he
don't know
is.
much about him now, but I've heard a couple of things as well. Very
He
good.
was in the Spirit Store on Thursday night,
Ah,
and I know he was in Belfast again last night. So I never got to hear him myself, just through the songs on YouTube, you know. But there's a lot of connection between Irish folk music and Scottish folk, isn't there?
oh, absolutely. There really is. I've spent quite a bit of time in Scotland, and
Right.
you can tell the difference, especially with trad music. You can tell there's a difference, but it's very, very similar. And
Yeah. It's you know, you have a few people out there, but what does the future hold for you, Joe, as regarding the music? You know, in the scene, where are you
Well,
gigging this way when you're doing a few gigs?
I'm always, I've got, tell you what it is, with work and everything else, sometimes, you know, I'm in a kind of a, what would you call it, I'm in a bit of a lull at the moment, but
Right.
still gigging in Fitzpatrick's there.
Oh, brilliant stuff!
Yeah,
We're actually heading there next Thursday.
Oh, for food or
It's,
for
it's,
food
one of,
reasons?
it's one of the top eating houses, folks. Anybody ever get down to it?
It is.
Ballymac.
Yep.
And they've it all done up for Halloween.
Oh,
so
yes,
they
yes.
do the outside gardens with all these props and electronic props, and it's a great idea for the kids. We would go every Halloween, you know what I mean, with the kids. So
Ah, yes,
out
yes.
down there, it's fantastic. And they do the music is right, and your sort of music would obviously down at Treat.
Yeah, I would do there an odd Saturday night, and I play a bit in Belfast too, because I'm living there at the moment. But
Right.
I did try and keep my hand in down there, because it's a different scene. There's that many more people at it. You know, it's
Yeah.
harder to get your foot in the door.
Aye. Funny enough, I'm doing a lot of gigs myself in Belfast, but as you say, it takes a while to get in the door.
It
Once
does.
you get in the door and accept it, that's it.
But I've never seen so many, especially even like in the charts and stuff, so many acoustic singer-songwriters and all that kind of music. It's still thriving.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt, you know what I mean? So any of them talent competitions now, whatever, you know, even young people busking around Belfast with acoustic guitars, it's great to see it, like, you know.
It really is.
So rather than come back to them big bands that are standing 4 and 5 on a stage and not an instrument between them.
Oh, don't get me started on that
No,
now.
that's for another show. we're gonna have another bit of music here. We're actually gonna play a bit of Damien Dempsey this time.
Oh, very
So,
good.
It's a wee song called "School Days Over." It's about the mines, people working down the mines, and it's very dear to myself because an uncle of mine used to live in Nottingham, God rest him, and he worked down the mines. He emigrated from Ireland here, and I always dedicate this song when I'm singing it to him. So I think it's a Ewan McCall song by Damien Dempsey, "School Days Over." Fabulous, Damien Dempsey with "School Days Over," another classic, Joe. You know that song yourself, Joe?
Oh, I
you?
do. I've seen him a couple of times live, and that's a particular favourite. Didn't
Yeah.
the Dubliners do that?
The Dubliners, Luke Kelly done it.
Yes, right.
That's a brilliant version, and Mary Black done a good version of it.
Ah.
So I remember I'd been in Benidorm last year with the wife and the kids, and I was playing music on my iPod, and I was trying to learn "School Days Over," so the guitar with me, and I pushed the iPod "School Days Over," and you always had Mary Black doing it, then Luke Kelly doing it, then Damien Dempsey, so the 3 different styles of it.
Very much,
And I tell
yeah.
you what, the kids learned the song before me. They listened to that much, you know what I mean?
I bet,
So
yeah.
it was. That's what I use my holidays for. If I'm trying to learn a song, but you're playing the same song over and over again, then the kids get fed up with it and they're roaring and shouting at you.
Yeah.
And But that's the great stuff about the internet, Joe, is the availability of music through YouTube. Do you use it much yourself?
Oh, I do, especially for learning songs. And if you hear a name like an artist, and you hear somebody mention it, and maybe you're out in a pub or something, and you go home and I'm always on YouTube.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I know I use it a lot, all the time for even for any young musicians coming up. If they get a video on YouTube, you know what I mean, they can see it all over the world, people just sitting in their living room. So it shows you how things have changed from many, many years ago, you know what I mean. It would have been a hard struggle for anybody getting into the music scene to get their music out there, I've
often thought that, like, now with it's just at your fingertips. I've yet to find something that YouTube doesn't have.
Yeah.
And so what did we do before that?
You've been wondering how did we get known? You know what I mean? What way that the word travelled? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I know myself. There's an opening there for people even to start producing professional videos for artists coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it's handy. People put videos up of them sitting in the back room playing the guitar, but it still gets them out and about. But I think there's a market now for more advanced professional videographers out there to start producing music videos. There is people out doing that at the minute, but it costs you an arm and a leg, and young people just starting up, they don't have the dough, as they say, for that.
Well, funny you should say that. I mean, it's the same even in just sound. I mean, the whole revolution with the home studio and everything, it changed.
Yeah.
I think it changed everything. Definitely for me.
Yeah. Because you can buy the wee Porto studios now, the wee Tascam Porto studios, you can just record everything yourself as well.
You can even record it on a computer. You can just have your ordinary computer with your Windows and just buy a bit of software and off you go.
Aye, that's it. What is your role in your work now that you do during the day? It's tech stuff, is it?
Yeah, I work for a charity, RNIB. It supports blind and partially sighted people. I'm their I work in the PR and communications team, and I use I'm sort of involved with the social media side of things and their web content and all that.
Right, and that's brilliant. And how somebody that likes yourself, Joe, that has lost their eyesight, how are you able to use the web or whatever?
Good question.
Is there a special keyboard or what way do you work it?
Well, in a nutshell, I use exactly the same computer as everybody else,
right?
And you just get a bit of software on it called, the one I use is called JAWS, and all it does is it'll speak what you would see on the screen. So
right.
I would use my arrow keys, and everywhere I go on the screen, it'll speak, like it'll say Internet Explorer, whatever, start menu, and so you operate it very much the same as probably Damien you would yourself,
right?
Except that I wouldn't use the mouse, I'd use the keyboard,
right?
And you just listen to what the thing's saying to you.
Brilliant.
And then when you get the right thing, you can enter it or whatever instead of using your left click.
Brilliant.
But yeah.
So you know what I mean. I was just wondering there. You know what I mean. How does this man work on it? And I suppose a lot of the listeners are probably just fascinated by the likes of the technology now as well. So it doesn't matter what disability person has nowadays. You know what I mean. There's always like software or apps that'll help people along.
Well, funny you should say apps. I mean, I just never off my iPhone.
Right.
Apple just brought. They're amazing for people who are blind because it again has a voice on it that speaks what's on the screen, but that doesn't cost you any more money. Every iPhone has it.
Right.
So you can turn it on. Anybody can.
Aye.
And away you go.
Yeah. Funny enough, I was ringing you the other day, and you said to me, "Well, Damien," and I was thinking to myself, "How does he know who that is?"
Oh yes. Yes.
So does when somebody rings you, is it a voice that's coming over the phone?
It'll say it just come on and said, caller ID Damien or something like that.
And you say, here he is again.
I'll ignore that, will I?
No. That's it. Say, what's he want this time? Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get another wee song out of you, Joe. So tell us what's on the menu this time.
It's a song, recently in all the gigs I've done, everybody asked me for this song. And so it's sort of a song that it's sort of ingrained into me. It says, by Snow Patrol, you might know this one, Chasing Cars.
Aye.
We'll do it all, anything on our own. We don't need anything or anyone, 'cause if I lie here, if I just lie here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? I don't quite know how to say how I feel. Those three words, they said too much, they're not enough. 'Cause if I lie here, if I just lie here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's bursting into life. Let's waste time chasing cars around our heads, 'cause I need your grace to remind me to find my own. 'Cause if I lie here, if I just lie here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's bursting into life. All that I am and all that I ever was is here in your perfect eyes. They're all I can see. 'Cause if I lie here, if I just lie here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Thank you very
You
much.
can't go wrong with that song.
No, it's a classic, as they may say.
No matter where you go, everybody's always looking at that song.
Yep.
That was brilliant, like a fantastic version, but you done it top notch again. So you're up there with the tops, Joe.
Oh,
And,
good. Thanks very
know,
much.
But you were telling me there earlier that you play in a local band as well, or along with a couple of other musicians. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, it's a trad band. We do a lot of trad music. It's the band goes under the name of Fáinne, which
Right.
I believe is the Irish for ring,
Yeah.
as in the Ring of Gullion. So you might know the Murphys from Jonesborough. The people out there, I don't know.
Very musical family.
Yeah, and a couple others, and we meet up. We've got a gig on the 1st of November, just a wee plug there in the Gap of the North in Jonesborough.
Right.
But
Right.
I do a lot of playing with them.
What night's it, Joe? You know,
Ah, no, you got me.
first of November. I'm trying to think myself. But it's a weekend. It's a weekend night anyway.
It is, yeah.
So
It's a fundraiser for the local accordion band.
right, St. Bridget's, is it?
Yes, exactly.
They won a few All Ireland titles, haven't they?
They did indeed, yeah.
Oh, like I've seen them a few times, like obviously.
The hardest working band in Ireland, I think.
There's no doubt about it. And again, I think the Murphy's father was one of the late great. What's his first name? Is it John? Is it Murphy?
No, it was Jim.
Jim
yeah.
Murphy. He was one of the organisers or the founder members of that band, I think, a way back. Wasn't he?
Yep, I think you're right.
You know,
but it's
so,
a very thriving like committee and band members, and so it's every year they hold a bit of a fundraiser, and
right.
we'll be there playing a bit of music, and I'm sure there'll be raffles and all the rest of it too.
Aye, that's it too. Wherever you are, folks, anybody around the 1st of November, get yourself to the Gap of the North in Jonesborough.
Yeah.
So what sort of lineup is in that band that you have?
Well, there's myself obviously on acoustic guitar, and I do a good bit of the singing, and there's Kieran there, and he plays the accordion.
Right.
And you've got Katrina on the whistle, and then we've got a fiddle, we've got Jerry on the bodhrán, and you know it does sometimes change the lineup here and there, but that's the basic.
Right. And is it a sit-down session band, or is it up through the full PA?
Well, funny, we would prefer to be a sit-down session band, because
Right.
I love that. You can't beat that for.
Brilliant! Aye.
I sometimes find the PA microphones get in the way,
Yeah.
especially when you have to plug guitars in, because they never sound the same when they're plugged in.
Yeah.
And I much prefer just playing acoustically. But yeah, when we're booked to play weddings and things, we do plug in.
Right. Aye. No, that's it. No, everybody likes any few wedding band or gigs at all. You know what I mean? People like a wee bit of trad session to welcome the guests in and stuff.
Indeed,
That's very
yeah.
popular at the minute. You know.
Well, we've competed in Score now for the last couple of
Right.
years.
And where does it be held now?
It goes through like the different rounds. You got like the county round, then you go through to the Ulster, and then
Right.
the All Ireland.
Right.
So we haven't quite got at Ulster yet, but who knows? There's always next year. You know?
It's like a few football teams. Eh?
Well, exactly.
We'll get another wee tune there from Dee over here, our studio manager at the minute. It's a fabulous Luke Kelly with the Night Visiting song. You remember Luke Kelly, Joe, do you?
Oh, I do. Again, I didn't mention him earlier, but that he was probably a huge inspiration to me.
Yeah.
The way he sang was unbelievable.
He was out in a world of his own, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I was when he passed away, it was before my time, for to be even going to concerts or anything like that. But it's amazing how a fine singer like that, his memory lives on for the likes of ourselves now that we're growing up listening to Luke Kelly. We're doing the Luke Kelly songs out in the scene.
Yep.
And whatever,
Oh, absolutely, because he was inspiring, just the way he used to put a tune to words,
I do a lot of Luke Kelly stuff, and I know there's a guy out there in the scene at the minute doing a Luke Kelly tribute show, Chris Kavanagh.
Oh yes, I think I've seen him.
Apparently he's put on a fabulous. He was in Warren Point recently, and a few of my friends went to it, and they said what a fantastic night, And it is hard for any tribute band to be so close to the original guy that they're trying to put on, But apparently your man Chris Kavanagh, he looks like him, and he does the business, and it's not everybody would want to look like Luke Kelly.
No, it was definitely a unique look.
The unique look it should have. I actually was booked in at one time to get a tattoo done on my arm of Luke Kelly.
All right.
And I'd paid the deposit and all, and I was going to a portrait artist, and I was getting grief from the other half. Oh, you're going through a midlife crisis, you know what I mean? You don't want that big thing on the side of your arm and all, you know what I mean? But when you're into the like that, but so what I done instead was I got actually T-shirts done.
All right.
With Luke Kelly on it. And I wore a few of them to the gig, and I passed a few of them on, you know what I mean? So I was saying to myself, it's not permanent, you know what I mean? So I think from now on, if any tattoos I want to...
Maybe that was a wiser option, was it?
Get them onto transfer them onto the T-shirts, you know what I mean? But I remember many years ago, when I was growing up, I grew up with the likes, more of the Wolf Tones would have been my sort of band. And people said to me, "Oh, what about the Dubliners?" No. As you were young, you wanted more sort of heavier stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I just constantly listen to the Dubliners. Maybe it's just when you get older, you get...
I think it is, because as I got older, as I said before, I was mad into heavy metal, and sure, you couldn't get enough of it. But now I just, I much prefer... I'm very much into homegrown music, and, music that's come up from being passed on, or...
Aye.
That's
it. Well, lucky enough then, with the Dubliners coming along, I actually shared the same stage with the Dubliners, and Paddy Riley was singing in that time over in Brittany.
Oh.
Ronnie Drew had took a year out, you know, so we were lucky enough to get to share the same stage, and you know, we weren't able to keep up consuming the alcohol beverages at the same level as them, but they were hardened drinkers, as the man says, you know.
Hardened.
As they say, with the folk music now, the Guinness and the folk music go hand in hand.
You see, that's it. I mean, unfortunately, when you're gigging, especially back in the days when you used to do like 3 or 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
And of course, as you say, it did go hand in hand with drinking.
And
sometimes you had to have a word with yourself.
Well, that's it too, you know what I mean? But, well, you didn't have to worry about the driving because you always get lifted.
You see, that was the problem.
Yeah, so it was easier to sit in the pub and take a wee pint and
sit there for hours, sure.
You know what I mean? It's not as if you're playing in the parish hall. No. But I know there's a few parish halls there's plenty of drink about them. You know? But as regards the music scene, Joe, nowadays, like many years ago when you were taking gigs, come September, all the pubs would have been ringing you.
Yep.
Maybe 15, 20 pubs, all looking to get the dates off you before everybody else, and
that's
you'd
right.
Gary filled for the whole of the next year.
Yeah.
Them days are gone.
They are. I don't really know when it happened, but it did drastically. I mean, as you said, the phone be ringing off the wall. If you were lucky enough and get the book filled by maybe October, November, and you'd be over the moon, that'd be the job done then. And then anything else you got was a bonus.
Yeah.
But now, it's just, to be honest, the pubs can't do it.
And they're probably afraid to make such a commitment to book bands.
Exactly, they don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 months'
They're
time.
not getting the crowds they used to get.
No.
Like years ago, you would have been getting gigs maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
4 nights a week, maybe an odd Monday night.
Yep.
And you know, for a pub to take bands on 4 nights a week for the full year in advance, it is a big commitment. When, as I say, they're getting a lot quieter now.
Well, they are. You see, it all began with a smoking ban, but that wasn't the cause of it. But you saw a massive change in drinking culture then, I think, and going out, and so I think suddenly people realised that you didn't have to go out; you could stay in.
Aye.
And then all that sort of escalated. Then obviously, then with the economic way things went, you know, pubs had it hard.
Well, I must have been the happiest man in the world when the smoking ban came in. There was nothing worse singing in a pub at night.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I remember. Smoke, you couldn't see the crowd with the smoke.
It choking you.
And
like the air would be a stick.
It's definitely not good for the vocal cords. Do you smoke yourself, Joe, do you?
I'm one of these, I smoke, then I stop, and then I get healthy, and then I smoke again. I go around this continuous cycle.
Aye. do you find the smoking affects the vocal cords or the singing at all?
You know something, it really does. You know that bit when I've either stopped smoking, and then or I've started, those few weeks when you're starting or stopping, the voice goes all over the place.
Right.
You have to kind of relearn where the, where the whole sweet spots and all are again. It's a funny thing. So you'd think to yourself, well, why do it? And I haven't figured that out yet.
Well, it's the same as everything, you know what I mean? But so we'll get another wee song off you, Joe.
No bother. We mentioned Luke Kelly there a while back, and I thought, well, so I'll do this song just as it kind of fits. I would always finish a gig with this song, and it became just a kind of a tradition, I suppose.
Yeah.
On Raglan Road, on an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I may one day rue. Well, I saw the danger that walked along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton streets in November, we tip lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen true worth of passion's pledge. And the Queen of Hearts still making tires, but I not making hay. And I love so much, and as such is happiness thrown away. Well, I gave to her, and I gave her a secret sign that's known to an artist who has seen the true God in sand and stone. Word and word and tint, but I did not stint, and I gave her poems to say, with her own name there, and her long dark hair like clouds over fields in May. On a quiet street where old ghosts meet, I see her walking now, away from me so hurriedly, my reason must allow that I not wooed, not as I should, this creature made from clay. When the angel woos the clay, he loses his wings at the dawn of day. When the angel woos the clay, he loses his wings at the dawn of day.
Oh, what a version, Joe.
Thank you.
Top notch.
You have to sort of sit forward to sing that song.
Aye, no, it's wrote by Patrick Kavanagh, the great Patrick Kavanagh,
That's right.
poet and writer. It's amazing, that song, how many young people look for that. Seeing them
Yes.
doing gigs, you know what I mean? It's a song, it's unique in its own way.
It is. I think it lives on and on. I think even like my kids will.
Yeah.
That song just, I think, is a massive, massive tune.
Yeah, I know. Like any gigs I was doing, you would have imagined it would have been all older people doing it, but young people always come, you know, Raglan Road, and like I've only started doing it this last couple of years myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I was actually down Donegal one of the times, and there was a wee girl at 4 years of age got up to sing it.
Oh wow!
When you have a wee girl,
Well, there you are.
singing the likes of Raglan Road. You know what I mean? It's fantastic.
I think it's a beautiful melody. You see as well as the words. It's a great tune.
Yeah, and like, you put so much life into it there, and I was just swaying about here, and I was thinking, God, I have to see that the boss here get a few Guinness reeled down just to get the atmosphere going. You know what I mean?
Aye.
It's hard to sit and listen to songs like that,
You know something. You're right.
and you haven't got the liquor.
The liquor to go along with it.
To say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what about trad sessions at all, Joe? Do you go to any trad sessions around?
I do. I've been to quite a few over the years, like, because I find the whole experience, like, yes, it's music and it's easy come, easy go, but there's a very set way things happen in a trad session.
Yeah.
And I love all that. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been to quite a few around Dundalk and Carlingford and
Right.
Warren Point.
I know. What about around Belfast? Do you get out when you're living down in Belfast now?
Yeah.
Much happening down there.
There's a thriving trad scene. It's, again, you find it in different places. It's hard to get into it. Like, it's like somebody else's scene in a way, and I know and people don't think it's like that, but
Yeah.
it's sometimes a bit intimidating when you turn up to like a room full of 15 people all
Yeah.
hammering banjos and accordions and all. You think, well, they don't know me,
Yeah.
so you either don't play or you go, right, let's get stuck in here.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's all about, I suppose. You should just
Yeah.
play.
I suppose, as you say, it's getting in there and getting your first night in and see how every session differs from pub to pub, you know.
It does. One thing I'd always love to, I still haven't done it, is to learn like an instrument that you could play a tune on, like a
Yeah.
whistle or a banjo or an
Yeah.
accordion. Because, like, you know yourself, Damon, on the guitar, you can back people.
Yeah.
But it'd be great to learn a solo instrument as well.
And the thing about the whistle, like, you know what I mean, it's not as if you're lugging a big heavy instrument around me, you know what I mean?
You just put it in the pocket.
Like I'm heading over with to Amsterdam now to the Celtic game. I'm heading with Partial Rogues,
Oh yes.
and one of the guys are bringing a set of whistles in his inside pocket.
Yeah,
The
you
other
are.
guy's carrying a burr on his back, and I have to lug the big guitar,
Yeah.
which Ryanair no doubt is going to charge me 80 quid.
Oh,
You know
sure.
what I
Rest assured, it definitely was the same price you paid last time.
No, that's it. Michael O'Leary didn't get where he is, right? As I say, I'll hold my tongue on this one. But Joe, thank you very much for coming into the studio. I really, really enjoyed that music, and I'm fascinated by your guitar playing.
No,
no
thank
doubt.
you, Damien. I've
And
enjoyed
I
myself.
wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you. Now.
So, and we'll get the band that you're with in one of the folk sessions.
Oh, I'd love it. I definitely.
So, once again, thank you very much. So,
Thank you.
folks, we're going to leave you with another wee bit of music for this edition of Destination Folk, and we'll be back on air again. So, thank you very much for listening.